What's up? Good morning. Looks like we're live. Monday, September 13th. Another week. Let me check this out real quick. So we'll get to CLOV in a second. But before we do, I just wanted to point out. So up until about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago, volume was about 100,000 and we're at 195,000 right now. So we just got a little pickup in volume here in the last probably 20 minutes or so. Sitting at about maybe 200,000 right now. So things are starting to pick up. Definitely looking like we're moving higher. I did throw some other plays up here too. ATER really moving right now. Not anything that was on my radar, but I just looked into it. It closed the day last week at 1180, currently sitting at 1444, and short interest 51%. Cost to borrow is up to 62, utilization 99. So this might be a mover today, but who knows? I don't know if the move has already happened. It's already up huge. But that's one I'll be keeping an eye on. AMC also was running this morning. In terms of the kind of bigger name meme stocks, 51 hit a high of $50. It closed at. It started running way back here on Thursday. It was at 45, and it's just kind of been climbing ever since then. But it's getting some movement right now in pre-market. GameStop not moving so much, but if we look over here, it kind of saw the same price action, a big gap up right here in at 1 a.m. when the market opened, just not nearly as much volume. CLOV also saw the same exact gap up right at 1 a.m. Okay, so we gapped up from about 863 to 880, and right now trading at 873. But like I said, volume starting to pick up in CLOV. We're almost at 200,000 right now. Let me see who's here in the chat. What's up, guys? Ago's in the house. Good morning. Skip's here. Michael. I read this one before we started the stream too. Dan said, "Why are mornings so early?" And Ego says, "Because night is so late." I got a kick out of that. 6X Spindrift. What's up? Kamal. JJ, what's up? Scotty Z's up early. Scotty's always up though. Aiko, good morning. Grimzo, what's up? VN. Dan says uranium stocks seem to all gap up this morning. I never got into any of the uranium plays, but I know that's something that BTFD Degenerate, he's been talking about for a while now, especially on those Twitter spaces. They've been talking about uranium, and so I'm sure he's happy this morning because I'm assuming he got in on some of those plays. So that's awesome. If you haven't checked out the Twitter spaces either, and I know I'll plug this later when there's more people on, but for those of you guys that are in here, every day, right around market close, if you go on Twitter, he's running the spaces, and I think Fridays was probably the biggest that I could think of, unless that was Thursdays, but there was almost like 140, 150 people in there, and always talking about different topics, different stocks that they think are going to run, and the markets in general. And I know I've been hearing about uranium on there, so that's awesome. All right, Scotty, I see you say you're about to take off. Right on for stopping in. I appreciate it. Your pal Al, what's up? Tibbies. I think I caught up now. All right, so like I was saying, some of these other stocks, I know AMC, GameStop, and even CLOV all kind of gapped up this morning a little bit right at 1 a.m., right when the pre-market opened. ATER seems to be the big runner today. A lot of low float, high short interest, high utilization, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be watching that one. maybe looking for it to break higher and just jump on board for a little bit. But I'm not doing anything yet. I'm going to kind of just see how the price action looks. Let's see. 7-leaf clover. What's up? Blah blah's in the house. Cooking with dogs. Cooking with the dogs. Good morning. 7-leaf clover says I got into ATER at 1096 Friday. Right on. That's can't beat that right now, then, man. That's almost a 40% gain. Other stocks I was looking at, BBIG. If you just look at the chart, you're thinking like, man, this thing's going down, but it's gapping up right now. This is 1 a.m. for them. It came down right at the close. Or no, it looks like, hold on, let me zoom in here. So right at 1 a.m., it saw the same gap up that, kind of all these high short stocks did, hitting as high as 11. It also touched 11 on Friday and after hours, I believe, too. Or is that just 1 a.m.? I think that's just this morning. But now it's coming down, but it's still set to open up higher than it closed on Friday. It closed Friday 1035, currently trading at 1042. I was looking at BBIG's Ortex data a little bit this morning before I started the stream, and I mean it's still looking like a strong short squeeze. If we take a look at it, I'll bring it over here. 27% short interest. Cost to borrow still 146. Utilization still 99.7. So still looks like a strong play. I think it's still got some movement in it. We've been seeing it climb up a couple times now, kind of come up and hit this like 1150-ish range. Even if we kind of back this out even further on a 4-hour chart, we did get as high as 1250 about 3 days ago. But I think it's still got some pop left in it. Looking at the daily, it hasn't fell off this jump. I would imagine it's got room to keep moving. If we look at the option chain on it, and pull this over for this week. Still a ton of calls in the money, and that's that. That gamma squeeze potential where you have as low as 750 strike. Calls outweighing puts. I was also looking at the max pain numbers on it, and it looks like, max pain is $8. So it's well ahead of max pain. I mean, obviously that's where it's going to try to get pinned to, but if it starts moving up, it does have this potential to kind of like, again, get that gamma ramp from everything in here. And I'm looking for it to potentially, get up in the 20s. If it spikes, I'll be looking to sell around 20-ish or something like that. But I do think it's headed back to 12. If we look at VIH, might as well do the same thing there. Max pain for VIH is $10. It's trading right around there. That's also NAV. This is a SPAC play, so this is what the one that I was saying, more on the safer side. You go in and buy shares on a VIH, it's worth 10 right now, right? Because it's still a SPAC pre-merger. So, your downside is 32 cents. Your upside on that, if we look at, let me pull up Ortex first. We got 27% short interest. Cost to borrow is 192, or that's BBIG. There we go. Tired this morning. Still haven't finished my coffee. All right, VIH. Let's see what we got. 42% short interest, so still pretty high. Days to cover is a little bit higher because of the volume. but cost to borrow is lower, so still 5.79, utilization's 98. But still a highly shorted stock. And then if we look at the options chain on that, um, again, super small float, only 19 million. We're at that point where only the $10 strike is really heavily in the money, but these numbers are really significant, considering the float size. So if it starts to take off, I think it's got the potential to run up to at least 1750, getting that range. So those are two plays that I'm sitting in right now, along with my CLOV, obviously, and GameStop and some of my other ones. But VIH is one of those ones, like I've talked about with CLOV, where CLOV, I really feel confident. Anything that we've been trading at with CLOV recently, it's like you're trading well under value, so you can't really. There's not so much risk in the downside. Like if you came in and bought CLOV at 9, 10, 873, where it's at right now, this is a stock that's worth at least $20 in my opinion right now. So it's limited risk, that limited bag holder kind of thing. And that's where I see VIH right now. Like you can get into this stock at 1030 and it's at least worth 10. Let's see here. I got behind with you guys. Joseph Scott's in the house. Dennis D. Kim Anderson. Shrimpley. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Joseph Scott's dropping the TMB. Kim says SPRT can run again. Refill CLOV or SPRT. SPRT I got in. I played a little options on, and I don't know if it can run again or not. My assumption is it still has room to go higher if we pull it up right now. I mean, I know it hit as high as 28 the other day, or 30, somewhere around there. What scares me about SPRT is this. It was trading down here at, $5 not too long ago, and it hit as high as 60. And now it's kind of leveling out, right? And so it may find a new home somewhere in this $20 range, and then squeeze from there. But that also might come after like 3 months of accumulation, or it could happen tomorrow, but I just I don't want to load the house with a bunch of shares there and then have them locked up, so if all of a sudden I feel like maybe it's gonna break out of a channel, if we kind of figure something out, I just want to kind of wait and see with this one. And I do think it has the potential to run. If you look at, again, it's got a high rating on Fintel's short in terms of the short squeeze score, but I've seen stocks sit on there and still get manipulated to shit too. But if we pull up the Ortex data on it, oh my God, 91% short interest. Cost to borrow 160, utilization 96. I didn't realize this short interest was this high. That's insane. Yeah. It's hard to say. I mean, I still feel the same way though. Like, and I'll just kind of relate this to CLOV, right? Like, I'm gonna come back a little bit. When CLOV ran up to 28, it fell down and started basing out around 11, and it was like, okay, this seems like it's the bottom. Oh yeah, popped up to 14. It's like, all right, so we're ready to make another run. And then we just saw months of sideways trading, while IV slowly, basically declined. And I really start to feel like, with a lot of these plays, when IV gets so extremely high, the big players that are in there, they all end up dumping off their options and everything. And the price ends up getting pinned down until it's ready for another run. When the IV gets low, and that's when all the big money comes in and starts buying up all the options, which eventually start to get us in that upward movement again. And while SPRT could very well take off tomorrow, I just feel like it's going to get into that manipulated zone and end up trading sideways for a while. but 91% short interest is pretty damn crazy. So that, I mean, who knows with any of these short squeeze plays? I just try to be on the safer side, you know. So if you were going to get in there, I would just have a stop loss set. Michael says, can you explain the purple lines on your charts, please? Yes. Kind of hard to see. I'm going to just I'll back CLOV up to like, yeah, there we go, like during a normal day. So this middle line is VWAP. That's volume weighted average price. And that's, I mean, it's one of those things where so many traders use it that it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If a stock's going up, that's where you're going to catch resistance. If a stock's, like right here, you're going to get near VWAP and traders are going to start selling. And then when you get above it, that's usually an indication of that the stock's ready to move in the other direction. And then it'll act as support, right? Like, so the day before we broke above it. And then when we come down, it acts as support because that's where a lot of traders are going to start buying in because they know that we're approaching volume weighted average price. And that's exactly what it sounds like, right? So they're going to take the average price for the day, all the price action combined with the volume, and basically figure out, even if we're trading up here at the time, the chart saying that, the volume weighted average price is right around 976, and that's why the stock will kind of always gravitate towards it. Now, these other two bands are basically, they're based off that VWAP. And so what they're giving us is kind of like what the lower range is and what the upper range is. Not always true, like when you see a stock run, but a lot of times it will come down, and bounce off these lines as well. Sometimes it'll just keep going deeper into it, like we saw here where it hit it, didn't bounce off, and just kept trading lower. But usually when you get into these lines, you're at the bottom of the range, and it also kind of lines up with the RSI. You're in that oversold territory, and you won't see huge drops once you get down there, and you won't really see big runs when you get up here. The stock will kind of cool off, and then that'll expand and get wider, and then it'll keep running through it. KLF, what's up? Good morning. Sir Lucky Charms, happy Monday. What's up? Kim Anderson says adding both. Okay, yeah. I mean, I just think if you're looking for a mover right now, SPRT does have, that 91% short interest and has the potential for a big explosive play. But for me, safety-wise, if you just wanted to park some money somewhere, I think CLOV is a safer play. I think VIH is even a safer play. But looking at that estimated short interest right now at 91%, it's got the potential to explode. But we also saw, again, I'll just bring this back, like even with GameStop or even with CLOV, there was days where, even with all these numbers and this Ortex and everything else that's like telling you that like, oh, cost to borrow is 160 and everything, they still have ways to kind of drop the price down. And I'm really starting to feel like it has more to do with, how the bigger players can make the most money. And what I mean by that is, these options, I always talk about how like, it's not retail that's loading these up. It's the big players, right? The whales. And if you look at SPRT right now, IV's at 435%. Okay, so you're extremely overpaying for options right now. This is like an option writer's dream. They want you to go in there and buy these options up with the 400% IV, and it's like stealing money, right? And so I think when it really gets to this place, now you're looking at market makers really pulling out all the stops to manipulate the stock even more, so that you're going to be coming in and loading up on options here, and they're just going to start slowly taking your premiums, right? Until they hammer the stock down to wherever it starts, until this stock gets back down to like a 160 or lower IV percentage. I think they're going to do everything they can to not let it run. And I mean, all these squeeze plays, I think, are kind of, 2021 this year. There's always been short squeezes, but this has been kind of crazy this year. And I don't know if it's because of the increase in retail interest or everything else going on, but, it's just kind of learning how to navigate all these squeeze plays and kind of, manage risk while still being able to jump in some and make a little cash. Um, Holiday option, what's up? 3C's go clove, never selling. That's coffee, coach, and clove. Christina, what's up? Good morning. I know you were at the Texas game. You guys didn't get the win, but I'm sure you got a blast still. That game looked like fun. I didn't really get a chance to watch too many sports this weekend. I was extremely busy. We had, what was it, on Saturday? My wife had a party here at the house, like a baby shower for one of her friends. So I had to get out of the house with the kids. So I took them to breakfast, and then ended up going and taking them to see that Shang-Chi, I think is how you pronounce it. So we went and watched that movie. Really good movie too. It's like the newest in the Marvel series. I thought it was awesome. I can't wait to see like how they incorporate all that new storyline into, you know, the Avengers and everything else. But so I missed a lot of college football, missed the Ohio State game. Now I'm glad I did. They got spanked by Oregon. Um, a lot of big games I ended up missing on Saturday, and then yesterday, flag football, 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. practices for both of my sons. Didn't get out of there until about 12:30. Got home and only got to catch the fourth quarter of the 49er game. Then I had some stuff to do around the house, so I only got to watch about the first quarter of the afternoon games. Um, and then right as the Sunday night football was starting, I was ready to sit down and watch that. And then my oldest son had a basketball tryout, so I was all weekend just kind of running around doing the family stuff and didn't get to watch barely any sports. Um, Rob Blank's in the house. Good morning. Says correct. They're still in control with the funds to back them up. Hopefully, the SEC will eventually put them in their place. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, there's like some. Again, I always talk about this, but if you guys are into reading and really want to like dig into some stuff, check out the Super Stonks subreddit. There's always amazing stuff posted on there, and they actually do a good job of cataloging a lot of the DD that's posted in there. And somebody posted one over the weekend where it was like an article dating back to 2004. That was on a message board that was archived, and someone found it, and it was like somebody pointing out this same type of manipulation at the time back in 2004. I mean, and here we are 18 years later, and we're still seeing it. So it's kind of like, to me, I feel like the market is what it is, right? I mean, I don't mean to be a pessimist, and usually I'm not, but I feel like instead of fighting it, our ultimate goal in doing this stuff is to make money, right? So it's almost like you might as well just ride the wave. I've said this before. I don't think retail really moves stocks. Whales and big institutions and those type of people do. They're going to let it run when they let it run, and they're going to knock it down when they want to knock it down. And it's up to us to get those signals and jump in and make money on the way up and get out before they start driving it back down, or make money on the way down if that's what you choose to do, if you want to buy puts or anything else. Um, Present Minds, good morning. New to day trading. Do you know any resources, videos that would be useful as a beginner? Yes, two that I could think of off the top of my head. Champion Vibe. If you're more into like watching TA and learning through visually, check out Champion Vibe's YouTube channel. Dude is amazing, and he's got a whole playlist on there about kind of like a beginner's playlist. Takes you through the whole thing. That's a good place to start. If you like to read, check out Andrew Aziz, Aziz. He's got a group called Bear Bull Traders. They're also on YouTube. But he's wrote some amazing books, and then some other people that are part of his group have wrote some books too. I think How to Day Trade for a Living, Advanced Day Trading Techniques. Then they have a swing trading book, but to me, that book kind of covers it all in a simplified way, easy to understand. That's where I've read like all this dude's books, and like I said, he's got like a traders group on YouTube as well, Bear Bull Traders. And every morning, even right now, they're probably going live, and he's just going over like his watch list for the day, that sort of stuff. It's really cool, really educational, and you could tell that this dude's all about education. They put out so many great resources for free. Champion Vibe too. I mean, he's offering. I know he's got like a paid area and everything where like he gives out picks and stuff. But in terms of educating people on how to trade, dude's doing all that stuff for free, and that's another great resource. Let's see here. Oh, Holiday Option checked it out too. Yeah. I've really been getting into all the Marvel and stuff. I mean, my kids are 7 and 9 now, and I've been taking them to the movies since they were little. But even like over when COVID first hit, and all three of us were home, we started at the beginning and just watched like every Marvel movie in order and everything, and they're really into it, so it's fun. We every time something new comes out, we go check it out. But I haven't had the time to watch the new series on there. I haven't seen any of the new series they put out on Disney Plus. So we've only seen the movies so far. Yeah, Christina says I have a ton of great educational videos too, but not really for day trading. So I've got if you go on my playlist, I have one that's called Chalk Talks, and I'll explain like market terminology and stuff like that. So still, if you're new to the markets, there's some great resources there. Um, but I got so much work to do. I got to put more videos out. I really do. On that note, I know I've talked about doing those Chalk Talk live streams. I think what I'm going to start doing is every time I do a Chalk Talk video, I'm just going to live stream it. And that way, and then what I was thinking about this the other day, because I want to do those. So like basically the next video I put out, I want it to be on, some options trading strategies. So if I come in and make the video and just record it live, make the video, and then all of a sudden when I'm done, open it up to like questions and stuff from members of the channel, and just kind of sit there and we could talk about that or anything else. One that'll push me to keep putting out those Chalk Talk videos because I'll set aside, maybe like an hour a week where every week I'll just record a new one. But I felt like, and then two, that would be that whole membership thing. If members wanted to come on while I recorded it, as soon as I get done recording my little 5 to 7 minute thing, I'll just continue on and answer the questions, and then, keep that live stream up, but at the same time, clip out the beginning and put it into that Chalk Talk playlist. So that was my idea that I was thinking of last night. So I may even try to get that done on Wednesday, but my schedule's been crazy lately. Turch McGurts, what's up? Good morning. The Jen's in the house. Did you rush the field? Can I use in the money calls to DCA? You talking about your cost average to get your cost average down? Not really, because you're still paying for it, right? So if you think about it, look at it this way. Even if you win in the money, like let's say with this $4 strike, you're paying $4.65 for it. So if you add that to the exercise cost of $4, you're paying $8.65 right now. So you're actually paying more than what the share price is. So like if you had a $10 cost average and you wanted to lower that, I would just buy shares, and that would get your cost average down. If you're buying options like this, you know, it's going to cost you more. Like this example right here, you're paying $865. By the time you buy this and exercise here, if you want to lower your cost average, there is ways like through selling covered calls against your the underlying, and then you figure, for instance, I'll just show you an example. Um, let's say you again your cost average may be 10, and you on your 100 shares. Well, all of a sudden you can come in and sell, um, the $10 strike for 17 cents. So you're going to get $17 back in your pocket. Um, and then as long as we don't cover or land above 10 on the week, you would maintain your shares, but also you could just take 17 cents off your $10 average now, and now you're down to 983. The problem with that is, now if all of a sudden we move up higher, you're getting your shares called away. So like for me, if I'm selling covered calls, I would want to do it at a price that, you know, I'm okay with losing my shares at, right? And you want to do it when IV is high. So IV right now on CLOV is 134%. That's not really high enough. Let's take a look now. Let's just say I'll pull up SPRT because I know the IV is ridiculously high. So with SPRT IV at 435%, if we go at the money, you're getting $3. But now even if I go way out of the money, let's say like this $30 strike, we're getting a $1.35, so $135. So when you think about that and put that into perspective, let's say you bought into SPRT at $15, right? And right now it's trading at 21. You're already up $6. Okay, so you're up. Let's just use 100 shares. So now you're up $600 right now. You do have some risk that it may fall back down, but you don't want to get rid of your shares. You could even, so then you sit here and say, okay, I'm going to sell a $25 strike for this week. So you're going to put $215 in your pocket. Well, so what's that do? That means that, and then it's at 25. If this stock goes up and let's say, hits a high of 30, yeah, someone's going to buy your shares from you at 25, so you miss out on that $5 price action, but now you also collected $215, so it's really like you sold it for $27.15. And taking my example, if you bought down here at 15, who cares if you sell at $27.15, right? So you can kind of, play that game, and then now if all of a sudden next week, even if it's trading at 23 and the IV might drop a little bit, maybe you go out and sell the 31 strike, and you just every week you can keep putting some money in your pocket while maintaining your shares. And ultimately what's that doing? It's bringing your cost average down. So every time you sell, in that first example, I got $200 back. So now, even though I bought into SPRT at 15, I just brought my cost average down to 13. And now the next week maybe I sell and get 150 back. I just brought my cost average down to 1150. And you can keep playing that game, but you want to do it, to me, with a price that you're comfortable with. Like you want to do it when the IV is high and it's a price that you're comfortable with losing your shares at. Coach, did you ever finish your doctoral thesis? No, not at all. So I finished my chapter 1, and right now I'm working on my chapter 2. I'm almost done, and I think it's like 6 chapters in total. So I'm supposed to be done somewhere in like the November, December time frame. It's really like a work at your own pace. I mean, I have a deadline, I think, of the end of the year to get it done, but like I finished my chapter 1 about 5 weeks ahead of schedule. And so now I'm working on chapter 2, and I think I'm kind of falling behind schedule on that. So it'll end up evening out where I'm still on pace for January. So, but if I really kind of, pick up and get ahead on it, my goal is to be done by December. I don't want to be dealing with it during the holidays and stuff. BTFD says, hung over all day Sunday, but still managed to mow the yard and pull out 8 bags of clippings and hedges. Nice. Zeke for Bleak, what's up? Rob Blank says, "Are you vested in MAT and BBIG? Those are my favorite top three with Clove." I have a position in BBIG right now. VIH, Clove, and GameStop. Those are the only four in terms of squeeze plays. I have some other like long term investments and things like that, or like longer swing trades, like DraftKings, um, AVXL, BNGO. But in terms of like these kind of more popular swing trade or meme stocks and all that, those are the four. Although I consider Clove more of a long term swing too. Um, let's see. Mike says no day trading for him. Still in Philly, moving flooded cars. Yeah, you said you were getting after it out there. Make sure you stay safe, man, and I'm glad you're making some money. Jay Herm, what's up? Good morning. Says emotions in check and let's go. Christina says smash the like button and then also join the team. Yeah, so you can join the channel. It's $5 just to support the channel. And like I said, one of the big things that I'm going to do is, and I really do, I think that'll be fun. I want to start recording the Chalk Talks live. And then, just basically I'll kind of ignore the chat for the first 5-10 minutes and get my video that I wanted to make out of the way. And then bam, we'll just move straight into kind of a live stream, questions and answers, whether it be about what I just talked about or about another video or something else, just like that question right there about dollar cost averaging and everything else. So and if that's the case, I may even just do it like once a week and then just kind of base it on whoever's on there. But that's one of the big things I want to do, like for members, is start doing like some members only type stuff, and just to give back to you guys and say thank you for supporting the channel. And Freak, what's up? Good morning. Christina says, with Clove, you don't focus on the problems, you focus on the outcome. Yeah, and that's the thing with Clove too. It's like, I was just talking to a friend of mine. It's funny. I mean, we've known each other for years, and he called me last night. He's like, "What's up, Coach B?" And I was like, and then he's like, "Man, I was looking around on the Clove subreddit, I came across this dude wearing a pit shirt, and looked real familiar." And so he had no idea that I was making these videos and stuff. And so me and him ended up talking for a long time. It's funny. Like I said, I've known him for years, and he's over here telling me like, "Yeah, man, I've been watching Al Trades forever. I've been watching, he started name dropping everybody else that's doing Clove videos. He's like, I never watched your videos." But we had a good talk, and that's what we were talking about too, though. Was just like, it almost seems like a guarantee with Clove, and the reason I say that is, it's like at this price, I mean, barring just some disastrous thing that, can happen to any stock, um, I mean, it's like this stock should be trading at double what it's at right now. So put all the squeeze stuff aside, you're looking at, I just realized all this time I still had that open, and we were looking at a reduced, this thing. There we go. Sorry about that. But it's a stock that absolutely has the potential to be trading at double right now based off fundamentals and everything else. And it's like, what stock can you double up on? Usually you'd be jumping into one of these squeeze plays like, oh, okay, let me get in BBIG right now at 10 so that it could explode up to 20. VIH at 1032 so it can explode up to 20. It's like Clove is sitting there right now, and it should be trading there without the squeeze. And then you mix in the potential for the gamma squeeze and the short squeeze, and it just makes it like the most intriguing buy on the market. But one that if you have the the patience to enter into and just say, hey, if a squeeze never comes, I don't care. I'll just keep loading up on shares. I think eventually this stock's going to make people millionaires. I really do. Um, Chef Daddy's in the house. Joseph says haven't seen co-creator. He wakes up a little late sometimes. Uh, so I'm sure we'll see him in here. If we don't see him in at all, I'll go ahead and give him a phone call because I actually texted him yesterday when the Browns got off to that good start against the Chiefs, and I never heard back from him. So, um, yeah, I'll hit him if he doesn't pop on here at all. I'll hit him up. But sometimes he wakes up late. He might be coming in here soon. Um, Perilous Jose, good morning. What's up? Says I know you're in Cali. Where you at? Let's blaze, man. I only thing I get down with now is some edibles, man, at night to help me sleep. I can't. I don't know. I've never. Makes me too paranoid. I can't really. I'm not the type of person that can function, and I like to be in control, and I don't. I don't know. I've just. It's always been something like that I'll kind of dabble in here and there, but I'm not really into it. Um, but I still, I feel like almost, like I said, the edibles at night to kind of, what is this? I just got some spam text message. But yeah, at night to help me go to sleep, I always have the gummies or these little chocolate balls I've been taking and stuff, but I can't. I don't know. I can't handle the smoking, man. I don't know why. So let's look around the markets real quick. ANY starting to run too. Looks like SPRT starting to move up. I'm just gonna take a look around. We can see what's going on here. ANY is not moving too much. ATER was the one that looked like it was moving earlier. At the very beginning of the show, I had talked about the extremely high, you know, utilization, cost to borrow, all that going on with ATAR, and it popped. It was trading at 1180, and it got up to 1501. It's sitting right at VWAP right now. Looks like it's ready to start moving. Um, AMC, same thing. Had a nice little pop this morning. Hit up to 5184, came down and is bouncing off VWAP now. I'd love to see AMC run. I really would because seems like we've been tracking with it for a while. SPRT starting to really get some pop though. I just turned my head and look at that. So, and that was the one that we were just talking about a little while ago. Insane numbers here. 91% short interest of free float with 160 cost to borrow. Um, so I don't know. That one looks like it's ready to move right now. D, what's up? Holiday option. Browns who? Texans who? Weekend was good for me fan wise. Yeah, well, the Browns came out hot on that game. They really did. And I mean, they covered the spread. I know that. But nah, they. I'll tell you one thing. I was really impressed with them. And I think they're gonna have a better season. I just think they're still gonna run into some problems with the Steelers, the Ravens. That's the toughest division I think right now in the AFC. Hands down. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see how that division unfolds. But the Browns looked really good. They really did. No, our nods while smoking a joint. Um, did you read the article from WCCF Tech? I did not. When was that? Was that like over the weekend? BTFD says the Dow, the SPY. Equals showing you why you don't bet against the Fed. QE till 2023. Chef Daddy, good job with the landscaping. He was weeding last week and his wife started pulling out clover patches and he jumped off. Oh, man. Yeah, that's funny. Michelle, good morning. Um, Clover Health shared slide as a Wall Street behemoth pukes on the company's prospects. All right, I'm gonna have to read that after we jump off the stream. Thank you. Charlie B says call sweep this Friday at 10:50. Well, that's what's crazy is we saw like with Clove, we saw call sweeps left and right. I mean, the options activity last week was bullish every single day. It was just bullish options activity, call sweeps all over the board. And typically when you see that bullish option play come in like that, that'll indicate that the stock's ready to move. That the big money's coming in and they're starting to throw their money around and they're ready to make a move in the stock and then we got hammered down below max pain on the week, after closing ahead of max pain for 2 weeks in a row. So speaking of which, max pain this week is back at 9. Okay, so there we go there. We're back at $9 on max pain on the week. Let's see here. But SPRT looks to be running right now. Clove volume as we're approaching 6 o'clock or close to 6 o'clock, right around 270. So that's kind of above average for Clove, but kind of where we were at I'd say about a week ago or so, before, or 2 weeks ago, before last Tuesday. Last Tuesday was insane volume. I think we hit about 2 million before the market opened. So right now we're getting close to 300,000. If you think a stock is about to run, do you like buying in the pre-market or do you wait until the opening bell to see what happens? Man, you know what? I've always been kind of a opening bell kind of guy. But don't get me wrong, there has been times where like there's some stocks that move, like for instance, SPRT right now. It's being traded just like it would be. I mean, you look at the volume and stuff, it's moving now like with the type of volume that you would normally see in market hours. So when I see something like that, I'll get in and trade, in regular hours. I mean in pre-market, but for the most part, I'll wait until the market open because it's when you have like little volume, like even like with the Clove right now, there's not a ton of volume coming in. You start to get these like see these like where we just have like lines, like that's just like a little tiny buy there of 1,500 that moved the stock down, 400 that moved the stock down. So when you start buying a stock with low volume in pre-market, anything can happen. It could be trading up here, you buy at 880 and 2 seconds later it's at 867. So if I'm ever going to trade like in pre-market, I want to make sure that it's like got a ton of volume behind it. But occasionally I will. It's I've been burned before in pre-market, buying stuff because even like, so for instance, right now SPRT's trading on a gap of over $1, right? It can go either way. If this is a day it's going to run and you're thinking that this is a nice little flag and you're going to jump back in right now for the next run up, and it does look like it's bouncing right here. Maybe you want to be a part of that breakout, right? And maybe this thing's going to run to 26 off the open, but more often than not, these things will come down in gap fill before they run. And so, it's I don't know. I mean, I guess I've done it both ways. It's more of a gut feeling. Just be very cautious in pre-market. You know, have your mental stop losses set and ready to pull the trigger to get out. AL, what's up? Yeah, remember even with AMC, stock had pullbacks before the run up. Absolutely. Charlie B, you're absolutely correct. Says even with GameStop and AMC, there were dips before the bigger run up. Oftentimes, people tend to sell and then FOMO in. The stock easily is around 24 in value. Absolutely. That's why it's been so intriguing to me. It's like, yeah, it's a squeeze play, but at the same time, it's an undervalued play. Like this is something that I would invest in, you know, just based off fundamentals, you know, looking at it and like, hey, this stock's worth way more than what it's at right now. You know, it's a great long term investment too. So yeah, it looks like SPRT is about to break out and go on another little run here. Um, DJ Tardis, what's up? Happy Monday. Noir says RKLB. Um, I don't know much about the stock at all. I don't know anything about it. Wow. So this is one that just went on a nice run too, and it's pulling back. Man, it's so hard to say. I don't know enough about this, but this is like one of those ones. I know I showed Clove earlier, but you know, similar type of run, and this could be the type of thing where it just starts kind of slowly trickling back down and finding a new base now, or potentially, you know, it looks like it lost a lot of volume on Friday in comparison to Thursday. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities out there in the market. It's hard to keep up with everything. And that's why, you know I've said this in the past here on here too, is like never chase into something, never feel like, you know, this was your one opportunity to make a big play and you're missing out on it. There's always going to be other opportunities, you know, always. So, you know, the worst thing you could do is sell your current position at a loss just to go chase another position, because that's how you end up, you know, now getting into another situation where you're holding bags or anything like that. So, um, you know, but it's also frustrating sometimes when you're just sitting in a stock that's not moving. That's why I never go 100% in anything. You know, I always try to diversify. I always have money off to the side. I always try to, you know, never get more than like 30%. And even that's extremely high, but 30% of my portfolio in one stock. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with Clove. And that's pretty high, but that's just because of my conviction in it. Um, but yeah, there's always going to be other opportunities, and I guess what I'm saying about that is nothing negative about RKLB. It's just that, you know, I don't know enough about it, and um, you know, it's like, even though that chart looks intriguing and everything else, it's just, you know, I've already got so many other plays like BBIG and VIH and CLOV and GameStop, and then my regular investments and everything else going on. It's hard to, you know, be up on everything. Um, yeah, Christina says I always seem to get busted on pre-market because it drops about 5 minutes after the bell. Yeah, most times it'll come down in gap fill, you know, and even if you look at like RSI right now, it's trading up here, what, almost at 80. So it's gonna have a cool off, and then if it starts cooling off at some point and starts getting back down, that'll invite in, you know, your short sellers, and also you're gonna have profit takers that are gonna come in at the bell, and you know it's a good opportunity for them to try to push it back down, and that's when you'll end up seeing that gap fill. But you know that's it. Gap fills happen a lot, but they don't always happen, and then so there could always be that one day that, you know, you got out for safety or waited to get in, and the run ends up coming at the bell. Charlie B says the meme game has really screwed a lot of new investors' idea on what a good return is on your money. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's why, I think, I think everybody's goal, if you're new to it, is make money while you can, right? But then you got to change your outlook. You're not this is definitely a crazy year, with all these squeeze plays, and it just seems like, the opportunity's constantly there to move into something else and make another quick rip and get 30%, 100%. Um, but I don't think that's going to be like that forever. I mean, there's always going to be runners in the market every day. There really is. There's some pretty unique scanners out there that can show you plays that run, 10% or more every day. But, there's a lot of inherent risk that comes into that too. I think eventually, and that's something like I've been kind of getting there on my chalk talks, trying to teach options and stuff. But I think a great goal for anybody would be to eventually get your account size up to a reasonable amount, and start actually become an option seller. That's where it's at. That's where like the guaranteed returns are. Seriously, you own 1,000 shares of something. You could sell 10 contracts, every week, every month, however you want to do it, and bring in enough premium to go start a new position in something else, and then start selling calls against that. And that's where you could start turning your account into like monthly income or weekly income or however you want to do it, and get those type of returns, and while growing your account. Andy Smith, what's up? Good morning. Buy the dip and let's go. Louis, a lot of talk about CCJ. Looks like another one that's moving right now. Close the day at 24, up to 26 right now. Steve the Baker, good morning. Right now, Clover reported short interest is around 20% of the entire float. What do you think the short interest is as a percentage of shares that are actually available? Man, I don't know. And this is absolutely a stock, without trying to, sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything else. But I think anyone who's been in the stock has seen that we've had so much dark pool activity. And I'll go ahead and pull this up real quick. Over 50% of the daily volume for the last 5 days was over 50% for the last 5 days of the daily volume went into the dark pool. And even before that, 48%, 47%. So, the way they're routing buy orders into the dark pool is essentially creating these naked short positions long term, right? So even if you consider that, that means the short interest is even higher than what's being reported, right? Because naked short selling doesn't get reported into that percentage too. So who knows what the actual short interest is? It's I don't even think we could try to determine it. But when you're seeing that sort of dark pool volume, there's no way. I mean, that would mean that you look at this day by day. That would mean that, where's that dark pool at? I'm trying to get it on a, 12 million in volume went through the dark pool. So that means that someone in the dark pool was selling 12 million shares on Friday, 22 million shares on Thursday, 32 million shares on Wednesday, 81 million shares on Tuesday. There's no way, so in order for a transaction to take place, there needs to be a buyer on one end and a seller on the other, right? It's saying that on Tuesday, 81 million shares were sold in the dark pool. If there was no seller there to sell those shares to potential buyers that were getting routed into there, that just means that the market makers was taking on a short position. They were selling shares that they didn't own, that they're eventually going to have to buy back. And, even if you just look at those 4 days, that's 110, 130, almost 150 million shares that were sold in the dark pool last week. Okay. Those are buy orders that should have came out onto the lit market that would have moved the price action up. That sucks. That's market manipulation at its finest. But that's essentially, even if you said half, right? Half of that was naked short selling, where I would think it's more than that because, again, there has to be someone selling on the other end in the dark pool in order to route that buy there. So even if you just said half and said, okay, 70 million naked short just last week on the dark pool, I mean, that's insane, and then if you try to add those numbers into the free float, right? So let's go. Consider this right now for CLOV. Why is this coming up all weird? There we go. Right now for CLOV, they're saying that the free float on loan is shares on loan is 43 million. Okay, so basically that there's about 43 million shares sold short. And in that example I just gave, while it's all assumption and everything else, if you were to add 70 million on top of that, you're talking about, what our estimated short interest is already up to like 36%. And that's just doing that off of 1 day, right? Or 1 week. So I mean, it's really, these numbers that we're seeing aren't entirely accurate at all by any means. And then if you take into account too, that's why, sometimes when we see like SPRT right now sitting at 96% or whatever it is reported short interest, how many naked short sales do you think are mixed in there too? So that would tell me that this float's probably shorted well over 100% if what's actually being reported is close to 90. BTFD says, my plan is to park out in CLOV and focus on working out diet so when gains do come, I can do 3 to 4 big ski trips to celebrate this winter. Going to need to step up my leg game. Bro, I need to start working out again, man. I really, ever since, I just started getting busy with everything, I'd say probably about halfway through the summer. I haven't worked out since about maybe July. So, yeah, I need to get back in the gym. I used to go work out with the football team, like with the players, in the mornings and stuff, or not in the mornings, but in the afternoons. But it's been so crazy. I leave school, go pick my kids up, come back, go to football practice, come back, do this, do that. I haven't really had time recently, and I need to get back after it. Chalk talk about building scanners. I just seen that, Dan. So I have a list. Right, where'd it go? Building scanners. All right. Yeah, I got like this list that I've been just every time you guys give me the ideas, I've been throwing them on there. And absolutely. Always own a chunk in my rollover, but once we do pull an AMC, I'll likely sell covered calls in my main and collect premium. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at too. I'm just gonna continue to, like once we ride up this next big one, I'm definitely taking some profits and then probably just increase my position size on the next dip. Um, oh, uranium. Okay. Yeah, I kind of mentioned that earlier, but we got a little bit more people on the stream now, so I might as well take the time to do it again. So, BTFD has been talking about uranium on his Twitter Spaces for I think since they started like 2 weeks ago. So if you guys are on Twitter and have the opportunity to check it out, let me pull it up real quick. He does a spaces every day at market close. And I don't know if you're gonna go earlier today. Throw it in the chat just so we know. But this is his Twitter right here. It's WSB_degenerate. Okay, and so he does these Twitter spaces. Really cool. They talk a little clove, talk about what's going on in the market, talk about other runners that they think or they identify, or what's hot, what's upcoming. And they've been talking about uranium on there for I think 2 weeks now. And along with some other big plays. So definitely something you want to check out. Sometimes while I'm sitting at work, I'll just have my headphones in and listen. But it's a voice chat on Twitter, and it's really informative. A lot of really knowledgeable, sharp people on there talking. And some great conversations being had. So make sure you check that out. But you gotta follow Degenerate in order to get in there. Okay, once you're following him on Twitter, then you could just go in and click on the Twitter Spaces and listen in live. And again, that's WSB_degenerate. But yeah, I hope you guys are making some money on that uranium. I never got into it, but that's awesome. Faith says, "Good morning, Coach. Happy Monday, beautiful Clove fam." Um, okay, yeah, barbecue, football, great weekend. Yeah, no, I had a busy weekend too. It was a lot of fun though, a lot of fun. Um, and it's just gonna keep rolling in for me. So we had this last weekend. Like I said, my wife hosted a baby shower here for one of her friends, and then we ended up having, like once I got home, I ended up started barbecuing, and a bunch of friends came over, and it kind of turned into a little party, like impromptu party. But then we have our son's birthday this coming weekend, and then the following weekend's my wife's birthday. So we're got like every weekend's gonna be crazy for the next for the rest of the month, pretty much. And then the Niners' first home game too coming up. So yeah, I might be what is that, September 27th? I might be rolling in here half awake. Um, Joseph says the after hour spaces is awesome. Yeah, definitely check it out. Um, is that SPRT in the top right corner? Yes. So it might be coming on that gap fill right now. Remember, that's what we were just kind of talking about. It was getting into this overbought, really hot on the RSI, but then when it starts to fall off, you have a stock that's highly shorted, and then people who are going to be trying to take profits, because this was trading at 21 on Friday. Looks like maybe it is going to try to come down and fill the gap now. If I turn on the 1 minute, yeah. Now it's in this oversold on the 1 minute. BBIG looks like it's making a nice little run back up. Hit a low of 10.22, crossed above VWAP now. CLOV, we're just kind of trading sideways, but we're still up off Friday's close, 872. Volume right now, 328,000. Not bad. VIH looks like absolutely zero volume right now. 13,000 volume, so nothing. All right. Chef Daddy says, not sure if the rebound will happen, but HEPA had an after hours run on Friday. Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice little pop up to, let me turn this back on 5 minutes so I can see it a little bit better. So it popped up on Friday to 208. And it looks like it kind of fell down now to 170, which is kind of near where it closed the day at 160. So, yeah, I mean, this would be one, and it's very oversold. Like for me, if I was going to get into this, right now, I would say knowing that you have 166, but it looks like it's kind of, starting to trend upwards a little bit, and maybe the RSIs, if I wanted to get an early entry, I would buy it now, but just have a stop loss set at like, 164 or something, looking for that gap fill to get out. Or I'd wait for the gap fill to jump in, you know, just wait until you get down there. What do we have up here? I think we had BBIG starting to really run right now. I'll throw SPRT back up. Let's see what happened. BTFD says HUT is pulling back. Okay. Yeah, HUT's been on a run. HUT's not one. I know you and Ghost and Degenerate are in on that one. I don't know much about it. This is one that I didn't get in, but it's nice looking chart. Shit. Um, after this nice run up, it might be just pulling back a little and then waiting for another entry point. But shit, I think I could potentially see it coming down and kind of touching off here. It has a couple times. This is the 9 EMA. Um, if you were looking for an entry point, maybe for it to continue to come down today, and maybe get you in at 936. But I mean, really, if you're getting into something where you're looking at, maybe breaking all time highs, I kind of feel like, if you're entering something as a swing trade, what's the 10 cents matter? You know what I mean? I'd rather just kind of jump in. But the last couple times it got over into this overbought territory on RSI, um, that's when it experienced its biggest pullbacks, and that's kind of where it is now. Um, the only thing is, the last time it got into this overbought, it did pull all the way down here, closer to the 20 EMA. And if it was to do that now, there's still a lot more gap to fill. It'd have to come all the way back down to 8. Um, Thomas O'Connell, what's up? Good morning. Michelle says life is moving in pre-market. With only 20 million float, retail could easily move VIH. Yeah, so I actually just joined their subreddit over the weekend because I had made that video about VIH, and somebody else posted my video in there, and so I started seeing some traffic coming in, and I went and checked out their sub. I think it's actually just r/VIH. Um, and there was some interesting posts in there. I guess what is it, Gergovan or something like that. He's a big on FinTwit. Some people were accusing him of pumping, part of that last run, and that I guess he still has a position, but he dumped some calls or whatever. But I mean, um, anyways, and then there was also some people posting that I guess trades just recently jumped into VIH too, so or posted to his Discord or something, so there could be some increase in volume kind of pouring into this week based on that. I mean, those are two pretty big names, that might bring some extra volume in. But I agree with you. Super small float, 19 million float. I think outstanding shares, and I think the free float's like 15 million. I mean, that's tiny. That's one that retail absolutely could come in, buy up, especially at the cheaper price, and move. Tar Heel Blues in the house. What's up? Good morning. Says, hope everyone's having a great day. Let's go. Leo, good morning. Is that a handle starting to form on Hut? Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, on the daily, you could see it starting to come around. It could be pulling back and ready for a nice big takeoff. I'm gonna have to hit up. I know Ghost has been talking about it. I'm gonna ask him, what the deal is there. But I know he's been talking about Hut for a while. Ken Lin, what's going on? Matt G, I'm in the house. Matt G is in the house. What's up? All right. Got my just slammed the last of my coffee. With 6:17. We're about 13 minutes away from market open. Um let's see here. Go back to SPRT. Seem to be the biggest mover right now. Although AMC starting to pop back up. Check out AMC. AMC's ready to kind of go test that 5184. Um, and like I said, I'm really hope AMC kind of takes off. I really feel like, those are the two big ones, AMC and GameStop, and Clove. I would say is probably right behind those two in terms of retail interest. Not in terms of potential plays or anything like that, but in terms of the amount of even if you just base it off of the number of members in their subreddits and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's definitely a ton of retail interest in these three stocks, Clove, AMC, and GameStop, and I really feel like for whatever reason, whether it's algorithms, whether it's you know ETFs, or just the same players being shorting all these same stocks, whatever it is, but when AMC pops and when GameStop pops, it seems like all the other kind of quote unquote memes run with them. And that's exactly what we saw last time. So if AMC's ready to run today, give it to me. I'll take it. Especially if that means Clove's going to follow behind a couple weeks or a couple days later or whatever it may be. Tadeo, what's up? Good morning. Let's see here. I'm just going to check what the kind of social sentiment is right now. So this is TRADYTICS. But right now it's showing that social sentiment right now. Daily top chatter is still Clove number one. So it was like I never include the SPY, but so Clove number one, then GameStop, then AMC. That's consistent with what we saw last week. Weekly chatter. So this is kind of skewed to include last week as well. But Clove number one, GameStop, then AMC, and then CCJ. All right. Are you in AMC? No, I'm not. I've actually, but I was kind of talking about this the other day. I don't know if I was said it on here or if I was talking offline with somebody, but I feel like I was looking every time I go back and look at like where I'm at on the year. I've actually made more money off AMC than any other stock this year. Um, but I think part of the reason is just that I've kind of traded it with no emotion, you know. Whereas like GameStop and Clove, I've held through some rocky times. Definitely made a little bit on the run up, selling calls and those sort of things. But I've been more of a holder with those two, and with AMC, I've just jumped in and jumped out. When I feel like it's ready to move and it's breaking out, I've bought calls. I've sold at the top based on indicators and the option chain and everything else, and got out and not held through any of the rocky stuff. I've even bought puts on AMC on the way back down every time. So I've kind of just been like watching it and playing it, just trading it. Um, and I think that, a lot of these stocks run together. And when you see, GameStop start popping or AMC start popping, they usually run in tandem, right? So it used to be that GameStop would take off and go on a run, and then a couple days later you'd see AMC follow behind. And lately AMC's been more indicative of what's coming in GameStop. So yeah. Bill says selling CLOV covered calls good an idea right now. I don't believe so. Um, yeah, and it looks like Degenerate just answered the same question. Wait for a run up. Wait for a run up. And the reason being is this. I'll just give you an example. Oh yeah, AMC's popping right now. CLOV right now, IV's 100 and here. Let me just back this out. We'll go a week out. 124% if you wanted to sell weeklies, for next week. So at the money, let's just say you're getting 53 cents. If we went up to 12, you're getting 19 cents. Not a ton. If we look at BBIG, which is similarly priced, trading around $10, somewhere around there. If we look out to $12, which is, not too far away, or even if we go 14, you're getting $1.45. So, and that's because of this IV, 290%. SPRT, you come out here 2 weeks out, 343%. You go a couple bucks out of the money, you're getting, again, a couple $100. So what you really want to do is, one, make sure that you're, behind or well ahead in your stock. So let's say your dollar average for CLOV is $8, $9, and all of a sudden, you run up and, CLOV's sitting at $16. Now you want to sell those covered calls now when CLOV is, and sell them at like the $20 spot, and that way, if your shares get called away, you're getting $20 at least minimum, plus the premium that you collected when you sold the calls. And then you could just sit there for weeks and just keep selling covered calls until your shares get called away. That's what I would do right now. Or not right now, but once CLOV runs up. Right now, I don't think it's necessarily the time to do it. Oh, Degenerate, I'm so glad you brought that up. I have this list here of like stuff I was going to talk about today, and I can't believe I haven't even talked about it yet. Hey, real quick, co-creator, what's up? We're glad you're okay. Somebody pointed out that you weren't on. Like, man, where's co-creator? I'm like, he's probably just sleeping in. But real quick, man, I'm so glad you brought that up. So NFL, no financial limits. We're gonna run the first episode 1 of today. We've already done a pilot and a preseason, but it's myself and Ghost. There's a link below for Ghost's channel. If you guys please go subscribe to him, because eventually we're gonna switch this back and forth from my channel to his. But right now I'm hosting it here on this channel. It's tonight at 4:00. Okay. 4:00 West Coast, 7:00 on the East Coast. We're going to talk. First half, we talk stocks, crypto, financial markets, all that kind of stuff. Second half, we're going to talk football. And we're going to do it every Monday night leading up to the Monday night game. Last week, we made some picks. And I think the last I checked, I forget what I was. I think I'm 5-2 right now. Ghost finished off at 5-3. And I still have one game pending. So, I mean, combined, we're looking pretty good. We're like 10-5 combined. We picked all 16 games. So, the final game is this Ravens versus Raiders. And we picked them against the spread. So, usually 50% is a good number. We're well above that. So, I'm really excited about this week's picks. And, it should be a lot of fun. That's tonight. And every Monday night we'll be live streaming here on this channel for right now. 4 o'clock until like 5:15, 5:20, whatever time the game starts. So definitely tune in with us tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of which, too, we did do the pool, the pick'em pool for this channel. Looks like 30 people entered, and I want to see if we could actually see who. Here's the weekly summary for the survivor pool. Right now, it looks like 6 people picked the 49ers and made it alive. 6 people picked the Bucks. I was one of them. 3 picked the Panthers. 3 people didn't pick. So if you haven't picked yet, you could still go in and pick the Ravens or the Raiders tonight and still join. And I'll drop the link in here too. So if anybody still wants to join, you can get in, but you got to pick. You got to pick from tonight's game, and then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people already lost. So you get one do-over, one mulligan. So you still get a chance to play next week if you already lost. But pretty cool. Interested to see who ends up staying alive and surviving throughout this whole thing. And let me see if I can find that link if anybody wants to join. There we go. So if anybody wants to join, I just dropped the link in there. This would be the last opportunity to join. You'd have to, because you'd have to pick either the Raiders or the Ravens tonight, and then the pool would basically be locked with whoever's in there. So definitely, but for sure, come check us out tonight. Me and Ghost, no financial limits. Should be a lot of fun. We're gonna every week keep making it better, and just trying to have fun and talk sports and talk stocks. Let's see. Ooh, Arkansas's in the top 25. Right on. I was talking shit to Degenerate on text message one day about Arkansas. Now they're gonna win the they'll go win the SEC just to spite me. Kenneth Wallace, what's up? Thick in that skin this week for the typical morning bullshit. Absolutely. And we're getting hit hard right off the open, it looks like. Really, we just kind of came down and filled that gap. Maybe we're ready to run now. Just looking around. Where's SPRT at? Yeah, SPRT's kind of close to the gap. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, a little bit of a gap fill there. All right. All right. Just checking out everything else. AMC's continuing to pop. Nothing much going on with VIH. I may end up moving this one off right now. Let's go. What else is running this morning? ATER looks like it's. Oh yeah, it just broke the pre-market high too. So this was the previous high, was right around 15, and ATER just broke out of that. So Interested to see what happens there. Oh, the deadline is passed. What the hell? Let me see if I can fix that real quick. It's crazy. We still have one pick left. I don't know if I can figure that out. At least not while we're live right now. I don't know how to. But it says pull settings. And it's just gave me the opportunity to make a link. Yeah, it might be too late. Oh, here we go. There's a pick deadline. All right, submit. Okay, try that link again. I think I just changed it. It's because there was a pick deadline of Sunday morning. But I did it so where it's at kickoff now. So now you have up until today's kickoff to join. And it'll be like that every week. Not to join, but to make your pick. So you have up until kickoff of the game you're going to pick. So dominate if you can. Let me know if it works now and then in the chat. And that way I know if anyone else. How about the Broncos? Anything about Judy? Did he get hurt? Dude, I missed so much. I'm going to watch. I'll be listening to Sports Talk today. I watched some highlights yesterday, but I missed a lot of football over the weekend. Some of it I'm glad I missed. I'm glad I didn't watch that Ohio State game. Mike, what's up? Good morning. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up real quick. So, yeah, if somebody could let me know if that link works now, I'll drop it in here again, too. Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so if you want to join, this would be the last opportunity. You just got to pick either the Ravens or the Raiders tonight, and then either way, everybody gets one mulligan. So if you end up losing once, it's like double elimination. If you lose once, you get to pick again one more time. Just trying to have fun, and then whoever wins, I am going to give away merchandise to the winner and the runner up. And yeah, all right. So let's see here. We're 6:34. We're about 5 minutes in. CLOV is starting to get pushed down a little bit. Like I said, max pain as of right now on the week is $9. I don't even think we've looked at the CLOV option chain so far this morning. Go ahead and pull this over real quick. So the $8 strike is kind of already outweighing, and so is the $7, $7.50. Is this right? Oh no, I'm tripping. I was looking at volume and not open interest. Man, I'm tired today. Nah, so it becomes $9 is where things start getting calls outweighing puts. $9, 18,000 here. 28,000 at the 10. So it's kind of some build up here. I like to look at this every week just to kind of see, like right now, if we really got some volume and pumped up to like 1250, I could see this thing pushing through 17 just based off the chain. And it's still early in the week too. So that's one of the things with CLOV. And again, I'm not promoting like, hey, go in there and buy options, because I really don't feel like this is us anyways. Yeah, there's some retail mixed in there, but those are like bigger players that are going in and loading that thing up. And that's what kind of gives it that momentum and with CLOV, it's had that every single week since June. So there's always been this huge open interest, which makes it that any day now the thing can explode. I mean, it's really kind of like a powder keg, and it's just sitting there, and it's just waiting for that match, right? And kind of makes it exciting. Looks like AMC gave a lot back right there. Yeah. Uh, yeah, VIH fell, BBIG, DraftKings, everything. And here, I'll just go ahead and show you guys what's happening. Looks like it's the market in general just kind of coming down here. The SPY came up, it gapped up, on the day, just opened up higher than it left off on Friday, and then it just drew down right here. About $2? And during this same time frame, we saw AMC's momentum get stopped, BBIG start falling down. If we look at a 5-minute candle on CLOV, we'll see the same price action. So it's kind of pulling everything down with it. Yeah, I mean it's not just a CLOV thing. If you look around, even at stocks that aren't highly manipulated and high short interest, I guarantee you. Again, here's DraftKings, same thing. Apple, same thing, big red candle. So I mean, if you just look around at any stock, you're seeing the same type of movement, and that's just an overall market sell-off happening. It just sucks when your stock is already at a low point, and then it starts to get trucked down. Let's see, BBIG, I think I had up here, and AMC, and the other big mover was ATER, and ATER is not affected right now by this overall market drawdown. It is continuing to climb. Looks like volume picked up a little bit on CLOV too. We're at about 2.5 million right now. In this grossly kind of oversold territory. Same thing with BBIG. Would be looking for some sort of pullback right now. Seedless says, what's the max pain? I believe when I checked earlier, it was at 9. Let me pull it back up. Yeah, $9. $9. Vincent Louis, good morning. 8305, what's up? Good morning. Ploria, good morning. What's up? BTFD says CEI wants to dump. Is that that one got pumped hard on Friday, right? Yeah, it was down at 93 cents. This is Thursday, 93 cents. Friday hit 166, and yeah, it looks like, I don't know though, that might be that whole, like I said, the whole market kind of is coming down right now. Yeah, the Dolphins. So I mean, even though I didn't, Dolphins beat the Patriots. A lot of exciting stuff, and that's some. I haven't touched on most of that stuff today, but me and Ghost will be talking about all. Basically the week that just passed. We'll talk a little bit about some of the shockers that we saw this week, and what surprised us and everything, and then we'll get into like more forward looking next week. And the rest of the season. But I'm excited about tonight. So that's 4:00. We'll be talking football for the second half of the show, leading up to this Ravens game. But definitely come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to do questions at halftime. That's going to be part of the format. So if anybody has any questions, whether it be stocks or sports, you guys could throw them in the chat throughout the whole thing. And I think L Train's gonna help us out. I hope I'm not throwing him under the bus right now. I hope he's gonna do it. He's gonna help us out and kind of collect all the questions and kind of pick through them and then put them in the chat for us to kind of rapid fire through at halftime. But yeah, some of the biggest shockers I saw was like I didn't expect the Eagles at all not to beat the Falcons like that. I thought Miami would have, with Mac Jones being a rookie with the Patriots, I kind of figured Miami might hang. The Texans beating the Jaguars was kind of a shocker too, with the uncertainty they had over there at with that QB and everything. But yeah. Actually, the biggest one was the Packers. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the No Financial Limits show, but I was talking about, every division, and we went over each conference, and I said that I thought the Packers would be in a letdown this year because of all the controversy with Aaron Rodgers trying to leave, and and then Devontae Adams was trying to leave, and I just thought that they would lose some of that mojo this year. And I don't know, one game doesn't dictate the whole season, but I actually picked the Packers to beat the Saints, but now I really feel strongly about what I said about Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. Like, man, they couldn't get any offense together yesterday. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Mac Jones, I did catch a lot of that. Who shocked me the most in that game was Damian Harris, the running back. I mean, he looks like a stud right now for the Patriots. And Mac Jones didn't look bad. And in terms of the penalties and all that kind of stuff, I mean, that's something that Belichick will figure out. Whether it's a way to circumvent the rules or just getting his team in shape. I'm just giving you Patriots fans a hard time. But Belichick's a great coach. I think he'll figure it out for sure. He'll get those guys in order. Christina said the NFL's following CLOV upsets all the time. All right. Well, so before I sign off here today, because I am gonna get off in a second, I just want to say one, definitely go follow Ghost. I put his link down there, and come check us out. This afternoon, or this evening, 4:00 West Coast, 7:00 East Coast. No financial limits. We're gonna be talking stocks and sports. A little bit of half and half. We'll talk about what's happening today in the markets, along with maybe some plays we're looking to get into down the road, and even review some of the plays that we kind of called out over the last couple of weeks. And then on top of that, Twitter Spaces. I know a couple people brought it up earlier, but let me see. Do I still have this up? Degenerate. Go follow him on Twitter. He does Twitter Spaces every day at market close. It's at WSB _degenerate. And the dude has been, I think there was over 150 people in there last Friday. So it's growing rapidly, and a lot of intelligent minds in there talking stocks, talking about CLOV, talking about other things, other plays they see. This uranium squeeze that we kind of seeing this morning was called out on there 2 weeks ago. I know they were talking about BBIG before it popped. There's a lot of good information coming in on there. So definitely something to look at. Get on there and follow that dude, and keep supporting the CLOV family. Al Trades is streaming every day. Tar Heel's streaming every day. You got Sean Stocks putting out videos. Who else? I just saw somebody in here that I know is where to go, and I missed it. Stock Hunter, I think, has been there's so many people, and I think one way to grow this community, and I'll say it again and again, is to just go out there and follow all these guys. Like their videos, subscribe to their channels. It helps get everybody seen. It helps get everybody into the YouTube algorithms. Retweet people's stuff on Twitter, and help people come in and learn how great of a play CLOV is, because I think a lot of people just see it as like a a squeeze and like, oh well, it popped and it's over, but it's not. I mean, this is a play that's going to be trading for triple digits down the road, besides a squeeze. And the more people that come in and learn about that and learn about what this company's doing, the better, right? All right, so ATER is running like mad. It's at $16. Looks like AMC might be starting to rebound. It looks like CLOV maybe even might be starting to rebound. Maybe we saw the bottom there, but the SPY is still heading downwards. And man, even VIH got as low as 10-11. So market's definitely coming down right now, but at some point when it starts pulling back, I'm sure all these stocks that are in this oversold territory will start bouncing back with it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe, and come check us out tonight, 4 o'clock. All right.